The football world has seen plenty of brilliant free-kick takers. Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Pirlo, Beckham, and many more. But among the hundreds of legendary names, one stands out above the rest: the iconic Brazilian left-back Roberto Carlos. This relatively short fullback could strike the ball with such mind-bending power and curve that physicists actually studied his kicks to understand how they worked. In the late 90s and early 2000s, goalkeepers across the world feared seeing him step up for a free kick because there were no guarantees you'd walk off the pitch with your arm still intact. Roberto Carlos's childhood and youth story is a familiar one for many Brazilians. He was born into a poor, large family in the small town of Garça. His full name, Roberto Carlos da Silva Rocha, was inspired by the famous Brazilian singer and composer Roberto Carlos Braga, the king of Latin music, whose songs were beloved by the football star's father. For Brazilian boys, the greatest joy is having their own football. Little Robbie got his first ball as a gift from his father on his 3rd birthday, and from that moment on, football became his only passion and form of entertainment. In 1981, Roberto Carlos's family moved to the city of Cordeirópolis, and at just 12 years old, Roberto began working at a textile factory while also joining the local football team, Atlético Juventus. To help support his family financially, he worked 8 to 9 hours a day, and then still found the strength to attend training sessions. That work ethic soon paid off. In 1988, Roberto Carlos signed his first professional contract with the club Union St. John. He spent 4 seasons with the team, and his impressive high-energy performances quickly caught the attention of Brazil's U20 national team. In 1991, he helped the squad become U20 World Cup runners-up. At the start of 1993, Brazilian football giant Palmeiras brought him in on loan. There, the young left-back played in both the São Paulo State Championship and the Brazilian National League. In his debut match for Palmeiras, the new signing made an immediate impact, scoring a stunning long-range goal into the top corner. That kind of strike would soon become his trademark: raw power, pinpoint accuracy, and relentless drive. During his time at Palmeiras, Roberto won 2 Brazilian League titles and 2 state championships, establishing himself as a rising star with serious potential. The first major tournament where Roberto Carlos truly shined was the 1995 Copa America. After Branco left the Brazilian national team, the left-back spot was up for grabs, and the coach decided to give the young, promising Palmeiras speedster a chance. Carlos made the most of that opportunity. He played solidly throughout the tournament, helping Brazil reach the final and quickly caught the eye of European scouts. He was initially invited for a trial with Middlesbrough, but the deal fell through. Instead, Roberto Carlos signed with Inter Milan for €3.5 million. At Inter, then-manager Roy Hodgson tried to adapt him to a more advanced role as a left midfielder, a position where Carlos couldn't fully showcase his strengths. Still, he was a key asset for the team and ended the season named the best defender in Serie A. Years later, legendary captain Javier Zanetti listed his all-time best XI of teammates from his Inter career, and Roberto Carlos made the cut. In total, Roberto Carlos played 34 matches for the Milan club, scoring 7 goals. His first season in a top European league turned out to be the perfect springboard. His power, pace and explosive style drew the attention of none other than Real Madrid. In 1996, at the request of head coach Fabio Capello, Roberto Carlos became a Galactico, joining the ranks of the Spanish giants. Roberto Carlos reached the peak of his career and created his brightest footballing memories during his time at Real Madrid. Short but powerful and lightning fast, the Brazilian fullback won over Madrid fans with his work ethic, explosive style and infectious positivity. Alongside Raúl, he quickly became one of the most beloved figures at the club. In his debut La Liga season, Roberto Carlos helped Madrid win the Spanish championship. Club president Lorenzo Sanz later admitted that signing Carlos was one of Real Madrid's best investments. The Brazilian quickly cemented his spot in the starting lineup, earning a new, improved contract, with a release clause set at $100 million. His trademark runs down the left flank, blistering crosses and rocket-like strikes, many of which ended up in the back of the net, played a huge part in Real's success and made Carlos indispensable to the team. In total, Roberto Carlos played 584 matches for Los Blancos and scored 71 goals. Between 1996 and 2007, he helped Real Madrid win La Liga 4 times, the Spanish Super Cup 3 times, and the UEFA Champions League 3 times in 1998, 2000 and 2002. That same year, he also lifted the UEFA Super Cup. Individually, he was named the Champions League's best defender in both the 2002 and 2003 seasons. At the same time, he was also shining on the international stage with the Brazilian national team. He played in 2 World Cups, reaching the final in 1998 and winning it all in 2002. In 1997, Roberto Carlos was named one of the top 4 players in the world by FIFA. That same year, he scored what is arguably the most iconic goal of his career, a mind-blowing free kick against France, famously dubbed the banana shot because of its unbelievable curve. "It was insane. I still don't understand how I pulled it off," Roberto admits. "I was wearing really tight boots, maybe that helped. And the ball was pretty light, which probably played a part too." After his contract with Real Madrid ended, Roberto Carlos received an offer from the shores of the Bosphorus. In June 2007, the Brazilian signed with Turkish club Fenerbahce. In one of his first games for the new team, Carlos set a personal milestone by scoring a rare header, only the 3rd of his entire career. During his time with the Turkish club, Roberto Carlos earned a silver medal in the National League and won the Turkish Super Cup twice, in 2007 and 2009. His final match for Fenerbahce came in the Europa League. After the game, his teammates doused him with water and sang in his honor, a fitting farewell for a football legend. After finishing his stint with Fenerbahce, Robbie returned home to Brazil, signing a 2-year contract with Corinthians. During his presentation, the new signing expressed his desire to end his career at Corinthians and said he had joined the club to chase one title that had eluded him, winning the Copa Libertadores. However, in early 2011, the team was knocked out of South America's version of the Champions League. Frustrated and angry fans began sending threats to several players. As a result, Roberto Carlos terminated his contract by mutual agreement and left the club. In total, he played 64 matches for Corinthians and scored 5 goals. His next transfer was nothing short of a bombshell. In the winter of 2011, the World Cup winner and one of the most decorated players in global football signed with Anzi Makachkala. On September 29th, Roberto was appointed assistant head coach but continued to play for the team. In November 2011, following the resignation of head coach Gadzi Gadziev, Roberto Carlos was named Anzi's player manager. However, the money club never found real success. Star signings, including Samuel Eto'o, eventually left the team. Carlos himself was twice the target of racist abuse from Russian fans. At the end of the 2012-13 season, he announced his departure from the Makachkala Moscow club and officially retired from professional football. You can view Roberto Carlos's career from different angles. There were some controversial moments, like doping allegations and his unexpected move to Russia. But one thing is undeniable. Carlos was truly special and one of a kind. Players like him come around once in a generation, and that's exactly the kind of magic that makes football worth loving. Is there anyone in modern football who's carrying on Carlos's legacy? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.